I got so comfortable living my life in a box that I did not realize I didn't have to live in. And I'm going to be 34 in actually only a couple of days. So, what better way to kick off this new year of my life than to start a YouTube channel, something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. So I was gonna script out this video and try to figure out a way to make it nice and aesthetic and make sure my storytelling was on point so that you can follow along. But I'm not going to do that because this is the start of a really big journey for me. I feel like I am in 2026 and waking up to realize that my life has been nothing but constructing a box. And last June, so almost a year ago next month, I went on a trip to Norway, and I I kind of think of it as like a peek out of my box. Like I peeked out of that little box that I've created and I realized what a beautiful world to live life in. What a beautiful thing life is. I want more of that. I want more of that feeling. And so, ever since then, I've been really intentional about my life, how I'm living my life, and really, really, really intentional about making progress towards figuring out who I am. I've always thought to myself, like, I don't truly know who I am. I don't know what I like. I don't know what I enjoy. I don't know what brings me joy. Like I know the small things. I know my family brings me joy and doing certain things, but I don't know who I am. I don't know my own identity. I don't know who God put me on this earth to be. I haven't figured that out yet. And I feel like that's the beautiful journey of life. And so I'm starting that and I want to document that here on YouTube. So on this journey, I'm focusing on lots of different things. It's personal growth. So it's, committing myself to gaining self-confidence, gaining self-trust, doing the things that I say I'm going to do. It's also physical growth. So, not in the sense of like, I want to lose a certain amount of weight or I want to look this way. It's more so like, I just want to feel good. And doing things like yoga, I know makes me feel good. So, I want to commit myself to doing that more. That's the physical side. Mental side, I want to stop overthinking absolutely everything that happens in my life. I am a huge overthinker. I'm also a huge empath, and I'm always overthinking what other people are thinking. And my life is controlled off of other people's feelings. And let me tell you, I've lived 33 years that way, and it is not a fun way. I feel like I've just lived my life in a ball of anxiety because I'm always focused on what other people are feeling. No longer doing that. That is the mental and personal side. Stop the overthinking, gaining self-confidence, addressing my terrible habits of ruminating over things. I want to lessen the amount of anxiety that I'm feeling, knowing, of course, I'm going to feel anxiety, but I want to do a better job dealing with those feelings and being a little bit more more comfortable in sharing those feelings so that I can work through them. So all of those things, this is a huge like personal journey for me. And I feel like a couple of things that I want to talk about. One, I feel like as someone who is and has always grown up feeling anxiety, I've always been an overthinker. Like I grew up, my grandma called me a worrywart constantly. I have never really been taught how to deal with those emotions. So I'm trying to teach myself that and work through those emotions. And so I feel like my life, I've just kind of, from childhood on, because of my life experiences, because of, how I was processing different emotions and different life events, that has been a piece of this box that I've lived in. And I can recognize that my life experience is probably two of the four walls. I think also being a mom of two has put those other two walls up. And in the most beautiful of ways, though. So being a mom of two, I feel like especially really early on in my kids' life, like I was really focused on them. Everything was for them. They were newborn babies. I brought them into this life and I wanted to make sure that all of their needs were taken care of, especially when they're babies and toddlers, because they can't do it themselves. And so I kind of think of that as like I was majorly in survival mode. I know for a fact after my second, I had postpartum depression, but I was in such a survival mode that I just kept moving, kept chugging along. And so those walls just kept getting bigger and bigger. And so it was very focused on, making sure I was doing stuff for them, making sure they were fed. My life from the second I woke up to the second I went to bed revolved around them and their needs. But my kids are 5 and 8 now. They just turned 5 and 8. And I'm starting to recognize, like, now that they're older and they're taking care of themselves and they can do more things on their own, which I want them to do, because that's how you grow and you learn. But I'm looking around like, dang, what do I like to do? Now that I have this free time, who am I? Now that I have this free time to sit with myself, who is this person? Like, I'd love to get to know her. But also reflecting, like, I don't know that I really knew her because I was still living a life that was living my life in a box that was built by my past experiences. And I wasn't really living my life in the fullest. So this journey is really to figure out who I am. This journey is to find myself. This journey is to find purpose in my life outside of just being a mom or being a wife. Like when you are, I don't know about you all, but we do lots of icebreakers in my office. And I am kind of tired of simply saying my name, my job title, that I'm a mom, and that I'm a wife. Like, that cannot be my only, that is not the only, I don't want to look back and be like, oh, okay, guess I accomplished those four. Like, I want more of I want to look back on my life when I'm older and be like, oh, I did this and I grew here and I did that. Like, I want that. So this journey is to build more of that. And one of those things that I feel like I'm called to do is to be a content creator. I love making content. I've been doing it for quite some time, but I feel like in this past year, I've really kind of found purpose in it. And I am pushing myself, and in pushing myself, I'm creating this said video. So, yeah, I don't really know what this is going to bring, but it's kind of like how Doechii documented her journey. I want to document that journey and finding myself. So this is me putting myself out there. I'm doing the thing. I'm making the video. I'm not even going to put too much edits onto this one, though I love editing. So the future videos will likely have a lot more editing than this one. I know that if I go to the editing phase, I'm going to overthink it and I'm not going to post it. So this first video is a true representation of me embracing my cringe, embracing something that's uncomfortable. And who knows, maybe you'll get a little peek into my mind because I have a lot of thoughts, a lot of things that I'm thinking through. And it's all just sitting in here. Like I'm processing it. I'm processing it with my husband too. But like I'm ready to word vomit it out. I know that there's something great for me at the end of this journey. I just need to start walking in that direction. And this video is the first step. So welcome.